political amajiri system to throw and grow people who begin to backbite, blackmail, begin to become this massive indiscipline, because you have to grow from the wild, from the kindergarten. And when you mature, they start talking about political garrison commanders. They start talking about, they mature into something that you cannot control. You see what's going on in the northwest, in the northern part of the country. These are people who were cultivated just because they want a cheap and a short-term gain of Pyrrhic victory. Let me use the word Pyrrhic, because you win and you lose everything at the end.
All right. You're listening to Political Voices on 2.5 Enugu Stream FM. Yes. Quickly, before we let the callers in.
Judiciary, you see, let me take a case of Enugu East senatorial primary of APC. In 2019, there was contenders, which Ada Ubu was one of the contenders. In APC primary, APC and PDP, recall, they had simultaneous primary elections. Then
one.
Yes. Not parallel, it was simultaneous.
Okay.
Their primaries was almost the same day. Then one man contested on the platform of PDP, while Ada Ubu and others contested on the platform of APC. A lady won the APC primary. Ada Ubu came second. Then during the election, finally, another person became the candidate of APC. Then Ada Ubu went to court. That since the first person was no longer running, she is the rightful person to win the election. The judiciary, after looking at it, and looked at the man who said that is the APC candidate, he used one language, and I will never forget, that Chelsea and Manchester are playing football match, while Man City and Arsenal are playing the same thing. How can you, playing for Chelsea, score a goal for Man City against Arsenal the same time? You cannot be contesting election in PDP only to finally emerge as candidate in APC, not a substituted candidate, but to have won the primary election. So the judiciary ended that matter in favor of Ada Ubu. The same thing is applicable to so many elections. We see people will go to the National Assembly, they will be sworn in 2 years. The judiciary, after delay, pre-election matters, we delay 2 years, 3 years. So the judiciary, to some extent, has a lot of role to play in enforcing party discipline in accordance with the constitution of the party. So for now, judiciary has not done their best. We are looking forward where the judiciary will be on time, delivering judgments that will help our political system. Because if you win election and before you are sworn in, the person that actually won the election, the judiciary will give victory to the person. It will be better off than when you did not win primary election, they will manage your election, you will leave your election, and 3 years after, the person will now be said this is the
well, gentlemen, let's go to the phone lines. When we return, we'll continue on this conversation. 0809-8888-925 or 0902-0020-925. We are streaming live on Facebook. Join us there. 925 Dream FM, that's the Facebook page. Or it's a TriCast. Thank you, Alex. On YouTube, Dream TV Enugu. Join us there on the Twitter handle at Dream925FM. 0809-8888. 925. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you for joining us. What's your name?
This is David Henry Bonda. I'm calling from Ohio.
Welcome, David. Go ahead.
Thank you, Ezinne. Thank you, the gentleman at the studio there. Good morning.
Good morning.
See, Ezinne, let me just clear my voice. Very simple. Political nomadics and carpet crossing is so much that this has caused us are not making progress in our democracy. Money banks, politics, and the parties itself are interested in winning the election only. In how they allow the people, how to provide the dividends of democracy as it will be called is not even in their concern anymore. What is their interest is, let them be at the shadow. Then those people who are benefiting should continue benefiting. And then I want to say it categorically. If a political party could not get their ideology, a situation where the movement from one party to another should be well defined, such that somebody is justiciable. Even if you move, you being as a governor, you stay at your place and you move at the same time. somebody will have interest and go to court where you will lose your election. If they are not doing anything to discipline people from the court and they doesn't even have a sledgehammer to make sure that we configure these people to reduce the nature of I'm telling you, we are not going to get anything right from the democracy. We are not only going to get anything right in terms of political participation. Otherwise, people should continue. And then the continuation of this nonsense mess. Let there be a political and party ideology where they will be defined that you must not move before you move and you know the reason for movement. Otherwise, you go to court, you lose your seat. Thank you, and God bless us.
Thank you very much. Defined political ideologies should guide the politicians in different parties, you said. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome. What's your name, sir? Chimo Korafo.
Yeah, from Okiwe here.
Welcome. Go ahead.
Good morning, Chima.
Good back to my group, my God.
Thank you, sir.
And Okon.
Good morning,
Yeah, very soon is going to turn up. I know I have seen the move. But then, if back to please, let me take you to what's going on in the place. I've not been around. Everybody's using or passing. He wants four hours of assistance member that he pocketed out of 9 out of 24. He pocketed 9. Commissioners are leaving. Special advisors are leaving.
Well, that's a deviation from the topic of discussion today, Chima. But thank you for being so passionate about what is happening in Edo State. Perhaps we'll visit Edo State before the week runs out on Political Voices. Thank you. 0809 888 Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. What's your name, sir?
Good morning. This is Engineer from Hosdale.
Engineer, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to thank the gentlemen in the studio. They are doing a wonderful job. These our politicians, what I have to say in short, these our politicians don't have the interest of their party in their, they are only there for the political position. They don't have anything, that is why they are cross-carpeting every now and then. One person will cross-carpet for 4 particular parties within a year. That shows that they don't have any agenda. They are not a real Democrat. They are all there for their selfishness. I can remember somebody like...
When you say all, are you generalizing?
I can remember somebody like Late Epeme. You see what happened to him in PDP. He never left PDP. Even when he was robbed, he never left PDP till he died. And that is what we call politician. That is what we call party man. All these ones are not party men. They are all selfish politicians.
Well, you already made it clear that there are exceptions. Okay.
All right. Okay. So I want to say something now that is going to happen at Edo State. The APC is not talking towards that. Even if Eze Yamu wins the election, he will be thrown out in the court. Because someone that conducted the primary was not supposed to conduct the primary because he was on suspension. But they have just ignored that now, and they are doing election. At the end, they will still cry. That is my submission. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your submission. All right, on the Facebook page, we have Waziri Jr. Good morning. He said, my take on this issue is that in Nigeria, political parties are run without ideology, unlike the developed countries. And this scenario has jeopardized political parties' participation in Nigeria. So I think if parties in Nigeria should control indiscipline within the party, then the power should be given to the people to choose their candidates. My regards to Augustine Okolie. All right, God bless Nigeria, he also said. Ovana Dickland, good morning. He said, my take is that political parties should strengthen the constitution that guides them, because the way party members are jumping from one political party to the other is not giving Nigeria a good name. Meanwhile, does it mean that some party members are supreme in a political party? And how can we get it right? Thank you. Chuku John Obunna from Ebonyi State. The truth is that no party member is there because of the party's ideology, but more of where the money is flowing to at a particular time. That's why you see them jumping from one party to the other. when their selfish interest is not obtainable where they are. Truth is that no politician in Nigeria is there to get things right. Well, that's quite a generalization. All right. Here on the Facebook live stream, we have Mbachinedu, who said political parties' membership is not well defined, so one is at liberty to migrate to another party which appears favorable to them. Again, there is no political ideology. Cyprian Nicodemus Mbebu said, "Good morning, Dream FM," and he said, "I want to tell you that the carpet crossing of politicians in Nigeria today is a clear indication that our politicians don't have the welfare of the masses at heart. That is why there is no shame on the face of the politicians who do that," just as said by one of the guests in the studio. Okay, 0809888925. This one on the WhatsApp line said, "Emeka from Enugu, the political parties in Nigeria are the two sides of the same coin. So the politicians feed their selfish, opportunistic ambitions by jumping around the parties as the need arises." Still on the WhatsApp line, we have Ajonu Prosper from Hibuku in Anambra State. My greetings to you and the guests. You and I know that politics in Nigeria has become the most lucrative business in the polity. It turns a tout into an overnight billionaire. Why can't politicians jump from one party to another for selfish profits? With that in mind, on the Twitter handle we have Dixon, who said, "Your commentators are talking about okay, how can you tell me you went to APN, ABGA, AMPP, and now APC? How are you different from the people you're talking about?" Mr. Bubago. So the ball is in your court, Mr. Bubago Kafo.
No, let me say that from the colors, this last person, he will understand that I did not move out of AMPP because of, but when AMPP that won election started defecting to PDP, because in 1999 AMPP has up to 8 members of the state assembly and about 3 or 4 House of Representatives in the National Assembly. And also, so when they decided to, I discovered that they don't have character and I cannot continue with them. And an Igbo party, and at that time, it was said that party became regionally divided. The AD was controlling the West, ANPP the North, and Igbo should have identity. And as a core Igbo man, I moved along Chief Chukwemeka Odimegwu into ABGA.
You said they didn't have character. Define what you meant by character.
The politicians that won elections under APP then, they decided, they migrated from APP to governing PDP in Enugu State. And how will you continue to stay when the people you worked for, they won election under APP and they left APP? And you are empty. How can you continue to work with that? And at the same time, it was clamored that APP was a northern party, which was correct. And we have to have an Igbo ideologically based political party, which is ABGA. It was formerly, Chokwas wanted to register ABGA, but it was rejected because of the 90 years back activities, and was now changed from ABGA to ABGA. And we moved along Chief Chukwemeka Odimegwu. There is no fault in me moving with the leader of Igbo then. Then when ABGA now failed, you know, Anambra man
How did ABGA fail?
Anambra man became the national chairman. Anambra man became the board of trustee chairman. Anambra man became the only governor, and they removed very painfully Chokwa Sokore, who have leveled for the party. They removed him. So ABGA was moved from Igbo party to Anambra party. So we left the party for our brothers in Anambra State, and ABGA has remained only in Anambra State. That was, I cannot continue with that. So when there was a movement,
why didn't you move to PDP?
Eh?
Why didn't you move to
No. We dragged the article. We made the article to see that we have a better platform. Some of us from ABGA, from AD, we came together, say we'll form another political party, we'll form AC. That party was headed by Chief Alexis Anielo Elochide, the founding national chairman of this APC we are in now. Unfortunately, that he died in a road accident. ordinarily the Southeast would have been in control. Elochide, everybody know him. Chief Alexis Anelo, the former national secretary of SDP. So the progressives came together. It was not that I defected.
So you're saying that your defection from
it
one
was,
party
no, it was not a
another,
defection. It was
carpet
it was not a carpet crossing. It was not a carpet crossing. It was evolution. My evolution with other members of the progressive, we evolved.
You evolved.
Yes.
Based on party ideology.
Not on party ideology.
All right.
So it will continuously be like that. So that is very correct. Then the young man that called from Ibuku, he made a point that the judiciary and institutions. Now let me talk about institution. The INEC has never helped matters because everybody. I thought that by now INEC would have gone to National Assembly with a private bill that anybody that cross carpet from one party to another in less than 1 year to the election will not run under that party. If that is done, the issue of this nomadism will stop. If INEC moves to do that, but you will remember that INEC under Professor Mahmoud has never improved on our electoral system since he came on board. We rather retrogressed. So what we are looking at, you see, when a referee or FIFA, if they fail to make policies that will guide our football system, then we'll begin to have lawlessness in the field.
All right, Dr. Collier, one of the contributors on Facebook, Ovuna Declan, I remember, asked, are there people who are more supreme in a political party than the others? Just like we heard in George Orwell's Animal Farm. All animals are equal, but some are more equal than others.
Yes, thank you for the question. First of all, you can see that I was still on track talking about political nomadism and the political herdsmen moving from one place to the other. And when they come, they will attack their hosts, like political, like the herdsmen, whenever
bandits,
political bandits. Whenever they move and they come to a new area, they will make a trouble that will try to consume that area. Look at one by one the political actors. I will come to your question. The actors that will grow and grow growing up and coming, leveraging on poverty in the land, the youths, making them political amajiris, so that they can throw dice, they can throw pure water, they can blackmail, they can write fictitious things against leaders. Another leader growing up amajiris. Now you can see what amajiris has become today. Now let me come to whether there are some people who are untouchables in the political party. The other day we discussed about political stakeholders.
Stakeholders, yes.
And I thought about the citizens' engagement, citizens' participation. Sometimes when we do these discussions, some people do not know where we are coming from, because politics and administrations are so important. They are so important you cannot leave it for politicians alone, because you can see the type of politicians we have, and that is where the incubation of the leaders and the leaders of tomorrow, where they come from, the incubation centers, that is why they are not different from the other. Even the let me not mention names of people who have become national leaders, even at the labor level. They have come out to display a kind of, a kind of level of participation in political party activities that they don't seem to listen to the reason or law. I wanted to tell my colleague here that he seemed to be shelving blames to the wrong places. The other time he said the judiciary. He came again and said the INEC bringing a private or executive bill.
A bill.
You see, the society is watching. INEC have their roles and their duties cut out clearly for them. Anybody, any individual, any citizen can take a bill to the National Assembly, or can have his member representing him, advance such a bill to bring about good governance, like he mentioned, you know, so that it will help in the electoral system. INEC cannot be a goalkeeper and a player, attacker and a defender. I do not envy INEC. Even the Mahmoud had promised us when he came, you know, when they were interviewing him at the National Assembly, that as he has come in, that no election will be decided in the courts again. And I laughed, because almost 90% of all his elections were decided in the courts. Most of the time in the Supreme Court or the appeal courts. Most of the problems come from the primaries, the congresses, pre-election matters, which will be pointing at the political parties. So, let me answer your question, or attempt to answer your question, about whether we have the untouchables, the garrison commanders and generals in the political firmament. They are the party owners, the investors. Some people don't even know that people own the party. It is when you come in, you know that some people are owning the party. Bullion vans will be moving from bank to their various houses. So do not, when they make decisions, when they say something, it becomes law. Now, you cannot imagine that number 3 or number 4 person, a former Speaker of House of Representatives, the chairman of accreditation committee for the presidential election of PDP just the other day, 2019, under a flimsy listen, a very flimsy excuses that his governor is behaving one kind, so he come out without shame before cameras and walk say he want to see the president. From seeing the president, just like this minister of Niger Delta.
But there are provisions. But there are provisions in party constitutions, you know, that should allow one to move from.
I am coming. You see, there are constitutions, but are they obeying their own constitution, the party constitutions? Remember, you have a larger, mega national constitution, federal constitution that is guiding all of us. Okay, but parties have a constitution.
Exactly.
Family have rules and regulations. Do they obey that? Do they know that party has constitution? Now they protect themselves. That is where the whip comes in. At the National Assembly, somebody sent to jail and they pay him salaries and tell us that they're still in court.
Yes.
It is only in Nigeria.
No, it's not true.
Let me come.
Okay, sorry, sir.
Just hold on.
Sorry, sir.
It is only in Nigeria that somebody will be tried in court for more than 17 years or more than 7 years or so in court. And when finally he's jailed, he enters jail and put on uniform in a correctional facility. And they still pay salary to him that he's still in court. It is only in Nigeria. It's only in Nigeria that at the National Assembly that we know there is a law providing that you cannot leave your party. You are contesting an election under a platform. You win under a platform. Suddenly, the wind blows, something happens. Because of this transactional relationship they have, they move to another party, and the National Assembly leadership will protect them. Even the person who won the election in the court, they will not swear him in. They will tell him that he's still in court. He's in Nigeria. Let us find out, like I've identified, that where the rain started is at the political party system. You have to do something very critical. If it's a private member bill, it's an executive bill, it's a constitutional amendment, so that you can know who's whipping who, because it has become a general phenomenon.
All right.
That there is no law, there is no rule. It is like an animal farm that you mentioned earlier.
Mr. Kubago, you wanted to say something?
Yes, I want to say something. But if you look at the judiciary, there is this always status, closing eye and delivering judgment, irrespective of who. And I assume that Augustine Okorie, in his political analysis, would have behaved like that judicial icon. But whenever I want to deal on APC matters, he will remove it and see clearly that it's APC.
We're not discussing APC.
No, I'm talking about.
Well,
now,
it cuts
somebody, not across the political party. He was referring to somebody at the National Assembly being sent to jail and be receiving salary from the jail. He forgot to say that some governors, even when their elections were voided by court, will on appeal will continue to receive salary and function until final decision.
The same thing. I'm talking about the same thing. I'm not mentioning
you made a mention of a National Assembly, and when the man is now to so when we talk about the National Assembly member, I know you were referring to.
I'm not referring to anybody.
You are referring to. So the truth of the matter is that everybody understand that Nigerian political system has some challenges, and we are working and are praying that there should be changes, amendments that will help our political system. You see, like when you had before the commencement of this program, you narrated, you read out numbers of names of organizations that were calling for the explanation of the China loan. I was listening. I heard about Femi Falana, and I was listening to hear from the Nigerian Bar Association, from the Nigeria Union of Journalists, their position. Nothing was said. These are institutions that would have helped the masses. There are some certain things. I know when an impeachment of a former Plateau State governor was wrongly done, the Nigerian Bar Association registered it. They went to court, protested, and it was corrected, and so on and so forth. So we are looking at a situation, this political cross-carpeting. Why can't institutions, why can't organizations, civil society organizations, move to the National Assembly and put a stoppage to this political nomadism?
Well, we're going to get more reactions when we come back after the break and the news comes up at 10. This is an extended version of Political Voices on 92.5 in Nugu's Dream FM. There are reactions on the YouTube page, that is Dream TV in Nugu. UC Frederick says politics is a business of interest, so there is nothing wrong in carpet crossing. Frederick UC. Sumto Madraguna said the high level of defections show that our political parties lack ideology and that our politicians are there for their selfish interests. Pascal Bennett said good morning, all the way from Okota, Lagos State. I think we should have a two-party system, but I have a question, please. How do we instill discipline in our political system? These questions will continue to be answered when we come back from the break. Stay with us. The news comes up at 10 here on 92.5 Enugu's Dream FM. Alex Obodo is in the building.
Onye ọkwọ ụgbọala gịnị ka ị nwere ikwu? Onye ọka iwu agwakwara nwaanyị ahụ oge m butere ya ahụrụ m na-elighị ihe mkpuchi iru. Enyere m ya otu mana nwaanyị a dị isi ike. Onweghị ihe na-agụ ya mana o kweghị eyi ya. Jụọ ndị ọzọ nọ n'ụgbọala, ha ga-agbara m aka ebe. Ọ bụ isiokwu bụ ihe onye ọkwọ ụgbọala kwuru. Ọ bụghị ka o siri mee. O nyere m ihe mkpuchi iru eji akwa akara wee dọọ. Ajụrụ m ya ma ọ bụ nke ọhụrụ ka o nyere m ya n'efu. Ọ sịrị na ọ gbazinyere m ya. Ọ bụ maka onye ọbụla batara n'ụgbọala ya na-ekpughị ihe mkpuchi iru. Ọ ga-enye ya ma werekwa ya mgbe onye ahụ chọrọ iritu n'ụgbọala ya. Ịnụkwara ihe ọ na-akọ? Onye ka m bụ? Ego ole ka m na-alụta m ga-eji wee gọzie Fada Krismas na-ekezikwa n'ihe mkpuchi iru onye ọbụla m bụrụ n'ụgbọala? Achọrọ m izere nsogbu ịkwụsị mmadụ n'ụzọ, mana ugbu a amatala m na ihe m mere bụ ihe ọjọọ. Agaghị m eme ya ọzọ. Onye ọka iwu biko mere m ebere na ihe kwesịrị ka ime gị na mmadụ eyikwala otu ihe mkpuchi iru.
Ozi a sitere n'aka ụlọ ọrụ ndị steeti na Federal Ministry of Health na-ahụ maka ahụike, ndị NCDC na nkwado ha Upright for Nigeria.
Found a special place. Keep the sunshine in your life. Keep the sparkle in your eyes. You found a special place.
For efficiency, excellent service, competitive returns, and prompt payment, choose Leadway Pension PFA.
With Leadway Pension PFA.
Your future, our passion.
Enugu's #1 choice for music and talk.
92.5 Dream FM.
That's how we do it.
Oh no.
Lord Sky on the beat.
Audio. Oh no. Root. Oh no. Audio. Oh no. Yeah. Everybody reach for Instagram. For man no day for Instagram. They call me like send a Mr. Living fake life with cheap data. They back my world. The money not just audio. Not just audio. Slow down, slow down. Why you want to kill yourself? Why you want by yourself? Living fake life with a loca. Calm down, calm down. Why you want to kill yourself? Why you walk by yourself, living fake life with a loca? The money na just audio, na audio. E mak pariwo, na just audio. E mak pariwo. The money na just audio, na audio. E mak pariwo, na just audio. You were the form giveaway. Your landlord they chase you away. Your family them you don't sideline. Oh, they blow you, you they blow timeline. 10 billion I'm flossing. Too much money can be nothing. So turn down the volume of your radio. The money when we don't see the audio. I can't the red perere. Your body they shot erele. Yeah. Them they hail you. Oh, who they slap you. Yeah. So slow down, slow down. Why you want kill yourself? Why you want by yourself? Living fake la vida loca. Calm down, calm down. Why you want kill yourself? Why you want by yourself? Living fake la vida loca. E mak pariwo. The money na just audio, na audio. E mak pariwo. Na just audio. E mak pariwo. The money na just audio, na audio. E mak pariwo. Na just audio. Who get here made the hear?
The news that concerns you.
This is Dream 92.5 News.
Good morning and welcome to 92.5 Enugu's Dream FM News at 10. My name is Alex Obodo. Ahead of the reopening of schools today, the Delta State government has given an assurance on the safety of students and teachers across the 25 local government areas of the state. Commissioner for Basic and Secondary Education in the state, Patrick Uka, who gave the assurance on Monday, noted that the state government has taken practical steps to guarantee the safety of various schools in Delta State. The commissioner noted that the steps include the distribution of infrared body thermometers, face masks, hand sanitizers, towels, gallons of liquid soap, among other items. The federal government says it will embark on an assessment tour of all unity schools in the country as students in final classes resume for academic activities today. Director of Press and Public Relations in the Federal Ministry of Education, Ben Gung, who said this yesterday, disclosed that the intended tour, which will be led by him, aimed to look into the level of preparedness of the various schools. Gung also pointed out that the Federal Education Quality Assurance Directors deployed to the states have been directed to monitor compliance in their respective states. In a similar development, the federal government says private school owners are entitled to charge fees for the third term as schools start resuming for exit classes. Minister of State for Education, Chukwuemeka Nwajoba, said this at the media briefing of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 on Monday in Abuja. Nwajoba, while reacting to a question on if it's proper for private schools to charge a third-term fee, said private school owners are running a business venture and not a charity organization. The second runner-up of the Nigeria Bar Association's presidential election, Dele Adeshino, has called for the cancellation of the poll and the conduct of a fresh one on the grounds of alleged fraud. Adeshino made this known yesterday in a petition to the chairman of the Board of Trustees, Olisa Abakoba, alleging that the electronic election was riddled with electronic fraud, where the server used for the election was loaded with predetermined data. Adeshino also claimed that about 40% of voters could not vote as they were not sent the links to do so. Meanwhile, the presidential election of the Nigeria Bar Association was won by Olumide Akpata on the 29th of July 2020. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, says it is working hard to ensure that Nigerians have access to the coronavirus vaccines when it is available. NCDC's Director General Chikwe Ihekwazu gave the assurance yesterday during the Presidential Task Force briefing on COVID-19 in Abuja. Ihekwazu also said data on research and development of a vaccine against COVID-19 by the global scientific community showed that results on a possible vaccine is expected in the fourth quarter of 2020. The federal government says it will release new protocols for the next phase to contain the spread of COVID-19 in the country on Thursday. National Coordinator of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, Sani Aliyu, made the announcement during Monday's press briefing in Abuja. Also, the Presidential Task Force Chairman and Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, said the new protocols will be released after each sixth interim report must have been submitted to President Muhammadu Buhari. On the foreign scene, prominent Tanzanian opposition figure Tundu Lissu has been nominated to run for the presidency in October's general election by his Chadema party. Lissu fled the country after surviving an assassination attempt in the capital Dodoma in September 2017. He will now challenge incumbent President John Magufuli in October 2020. In the meantime, Lissu's nomination will be approved by the party's National Congress today. Still on the foreign scene, United States President Donald Trump says the government should get a cut from the sale of TikTok's U.S. unit if an American firm buys it. Donald Trump, who disclosed this yesterday, warned that he will ban the app, which is owned by China's ByteDance, on September 15, 2020, if there is no deal. ByteDance is under pressure to sell its U.S. business after President Trump threatened a crackdown on Chinese tech companies. Recall that the Trump administration has accused TikTok and others of providing data to the Chinese government, which Beijing and TikTok denied. In entertainment, Taylor Swift's surprise 8th album, Folklore, has broken several chart records in its first week on sale. The record was written and recorded during the coronavirus lockdown and changed directions from the pop sound that's dominated her last 3 albums. Folklore in the US sold 846,000 copies, making it the first best-selling record of the year after just 7 days on sale. Also, Swift becomes the first artist in US chart history to have 7 albums sell more than 500,000 copies in a single week, and the first female artist to have 7 albums debut at number 1. And in sports, the Nigeria Football Federation NFF has set up a caretaker committee to run the affairs of the Anambra State Football Association for the next 3 months. This was contained in a statement issued on Monday to newsmen by the Communications Department of NFF. The Nigeria Football Federation also said the caretaker committee is expected to conduct an election into the state local football councils before the expiration of their tenure on November 2nd, 2020. And that's the size of the package on 92.5 Enugu's Dream FM News at 10 until 1 o'clock when we bring you more on our bulletins. My name is Alex Obodo. Do stay tuned for the continuation of Political Voices with Ezinne Aniwe.
Listen, I am telling you that
I don't agree. I don't. No. You can't say that. Politics. Where is good governance?
Everyone is a political animal. I don't like politics.
But I love political voices.
On Political Voices, we talk politics. In a country of diverse interests, we get what, when, and how is politics. And this is our business on Political Voices. Nigeria, a country of over 160 million people. Political Voices is gauging the temperature, setting the agenda. Political Voices exclusively on Dream FM, 9 o'clock in the morning, Monday to Friday.
Thank you for staying with us on Political Voices. 92.5 Enugu's Dream FM. It's an extended version. Time in the studio is 10:07 a.m. So we have been looking at political parties and membership indiscipline, pointing to the use of whip and, of course, matters arising. My name is Ezinne Aniwe. We have here with us in the studio Mr. Ibubago Okafo, Enugu State Coordinator of APC National Coalition for Peace and Mobilization. Also here is Dr. Augustine Okolie. He's a policy management consultant and a public affairs analyst. Well, with the discussion we've been having before we went on the break and the news came, we already established the need for people to join. Dr. Coley, I remember you said it's not for politicians alone to run the political parties or make decisions, that the people need to also come on board and talk about the people. You talked about the people sponsoring bills to ensure that there is this, amendment, so to say, to curtail indiscipline that we witness in different political parties. So let's take more of your reactions on the program. 0809 8888925 or 0902 00200925. On the Facebook page, we have this one from Chuku Obonna. All right. Chuku Obonna said, the truth is that no party member is there because of the party's ideology, but more of them are there because of the money that is flowing at the particular time. That's why you see people jump from one party to the other because of selfish interest. Ituma Martin, our laws are helping them do that. If there is a law prohibiting carpet crossing, then they won't abuse power like that. For instance, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Dogara, is just moving to and fro without losing his position, right? And he's a former Speaker of the House of Representatives. Emmanuel Chimobi said, good morning. Political voices. Political parties in Nigeria are all about personal interest. They go from one party to the other based on selfish interests. Thank you for loving political voices and Dream FM. We love you too. Saint Obi Hart said, it's about time party leaders reorganized the parties. What we have in Nigeria is not a political party but a political organization. This unwarranted migration is only tenable in Nigeria. There is nothing to encourage or propel it except the selfishness ends, he said. Please, Mark Oscar is asking, please, what should be done to end political indiscipline in our politics? Can't we have an implementation of no carpet crossing from one party to another? That's a question that we'll answer after we take the call. Hello, good morning. You need to turn down the volume on your radio, please. Good morning. Okay, your line is not so clear, so we had to let you go. Please call us back or join us on the social media platforms. Good morning. 0809 8888925. Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Hello. Yeah, good morning.
What's your name, please?
My name is Comrade Marcel Enichi.
Welcome, Comrade.
From Obabenimbo.
Go ahead, Marcel.
Good morning to your guests. We have discussed about this in several on this particular platform. Then repeating it so often, and they keep on doing what they are doing. They will continue talking about it. Our own is to talk, but left for them who are in that political angle to also begin to act on what people are saying. Having said that, please, the only problem we have here is our legislature. If the National Assembly can make a law that will take care of this particular problem, I don't think we'll continue deliberating on this matter. For me, party ideology in Nigeria has been eroded. They have taken it to be like where children are playing. So, but we need to imbibe this party ideology. If you have the ideology, I don't think somebody who is a PDP man today, tomorrow will tell you he's an APC president. Who are they deceiving, first of all? Are they deceiving us? I think for me, our mumu don't do.
Thank you very much.
Lesson. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Comrade Marcel Enichi. Ugwanyu Valentine Chijuki from Nsuka on the WhatsApp line said, good morning. Selfish interest has continued to displace political parties' discipline in Nigeria's political system. Wright said, our political parties do not have ideologies, and that's why our politicians keep on migrating from one party to the other. Once an average politician stops benefiting or feels that he or she is not benefiting, then the person decamps to another party. If Nigeria does not make laws that will provide a standard rule or standard rules for carpet crossing, then it will weaken our political system the more. Still on the WhatsApp line, Sonia Mayer from Nsuka said, our parties lack ideologies. They are mere political organizations, nothing more. All right. And Mikoya from Adani in Ozuwani said, good morning. The issue of political parties or indiscipline that we're talking about, people moving from one party to the other, means that the party